This is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us at 5. Rock County suddenly finds itself preparing for a presidential visit as COVID numbers are spiking there. The Trump campaign announced it is shifting Saturday's planned stop for La Crosse to Janesville.
Adam Duxter spoke with Rock County health leaders before that news broke. They tell him they are trying to make sure things get better before health centers run out of space.
Right now, there are more active cases of coronavirus in Rock County than any time before. Today, health officials say unless something is done, that's a number that can continue to grow. Rock County epidemiologist Nick Zupan is in uncharted territory.
We're seeing levels of active cases that we have not seen before.
Specifically, it's the number of active cases over the last 4 weeks he says can potentially be the most dangerous.
In the beginning of September, we had about 200 active cases in Rock County. Now we're up to over 600 active cases, and these are the people who can be spreading the illness from person to person.
He and infection specialists know as more people catch the virus, the higher the chance more people can become very sick.
For me, my biggest concern are our hospitalizations. Right now in Rock County, we are seeing a lot of our hospital beds filling up with COVID patients again. That's when it becomes concerning and alarming.
At SSM Health and throughout the country, hospitalization numbers are climbing towards the highest levels they've ever been. And tonight, those health officials are asking you to keep your circle small and, most importantly, to be safe.
I don't want anyone to get sick. I don't want any more deaths due to COVID. And I think at this point, it's a little scary from a public health standpoint.
I also spoke on the phone today with Rock County Administrator Josh Smith, who says, well, he will continue to enforce the state's mask mandate. He has not gone as far as to consider telling businesses to shut their doors or school districts to end in-person learning. In Janesville, Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
As for that canceled visit to La Crosse, the mayor there, Tim Cabot, said he was worried about the visit due to such widespread COVID-19 cases in La Crosse. Due to the spike all across the state, a group of doctors earlier encouraged the president to reconsider.
Wisconsin is experiencing the worst surge of COVID-19 cases since the deadly pandemic began in February. President Trump has a responsibility to keep Wisconsin families and Americans safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. Holding mass rallies that attract thousands of people while COVID-19 cases go through the roof will put people's health at risk.
The president is expected to speak at 3:30 at the Rock County Airport. He is still on to fly to Green Bay later that night. Rock County officials are urging the president, as we mentioned, to reconsider the rally. A release from the Board of Supervisors says holding a gathering would be irresponsible and would put Rock County citizens in danger.
All right, let's turn to weather. Time to check your first warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, we've had a mix of sun and clouds again today, along with a few scattered showers, but those will probably die down pretty quickly after sunset. In fact, you can see on visible cloud track how the skies are starting to clear over northwestern Wisconsin. That's the clearing that'll work its way in later tonight. The scattered showers on high-resolution radar across southern Wisconsin, about 80% of us are not seeing any rain right now, and when it does rain, it only rains for a short period of time. Temperatures have cooled off into the lower 50s for the most part, where the showers have moved through. Janesville still at 59 degrees, but frost advisories have been issued overnight from 1 a.m. till 8 a.m. tomorrow morning west of a Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line. East of there, including Madison, from 3 a.m. until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We also have an alert day in the forecast, not only for tomorrow, but for Saturday morning for another chance for some widespread frost. By tomorrow morning, we'll be down to about 34 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Look for a high tomorrow of 50 degrees with partly sunny skies. Again, frost is possible tomorrow night, but we should be turning the corner on temperatures next week. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. 20 more people have died as Wisconsin surpasses 125,000 COVID-19 cases. Now, you may notice here we've had to adjust the scale and color scheme on our statewide map as our numbers spike. Dane County has surpassed 10,000 cases since the start of the pandemic. Roughly 44% of the total cases are from September alone. Because of those numbers, Governor Evers held his second press briefing this week.
Melissa Kim is here now to tell us what he thinks Wisconsinites need to do to bring those numbers numbers down. Melissa?
Well, Susan and Eric, Governor Evers calling those numbers an alarming trend and honestly grim milestones for the state of Wisconsin. And it really doesn't get any more simple for a solution. We've been hearing the same things since the start of the pandemic. Stay home, social distance, and wear a mask. But health officials say that doesn't really seem to be resonating with people here. The president of Thetacare, a community health system that has 7 hospitals and several clinics in the state, says yes, these guidelines are inconvenient, but we need to get back to basics.
By doing the simple things that may be aggravating at times, that may be difficult at times, the masking, the social distancing, not gathering in large numbers, now going into the flu season, making sure that we get the flu shot, making sure that you're keeping distance from somebody who may have symptoms, making sure that we are not having sleepovers, for example. All of those things contribute to the number of cases that we are seeing in our communities.
Governor Evers also says the surges in numbers do not mean that masks aren't working, but they'll only work if everyone wears them. He also signed an order to allow more providers and healthcare employees licensed in other states to practice here. Melissa,
thank you. Today, the Director of Public Health, Madison, Dane County, Janelle Heinrich, cited DHS data that hospital capacity in our region has increased by 38%. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says there is space being held at Alliant Energy Center in case there's a need for a local field hospital. That space was identified early on in the pandemic in partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers and local hospitals. He says the space is ready should it be needed.
We're concerned about the trajectory. We're still at numbers locally that are not as high as they were at the beginning of the pandemic, but what we're seeing is an upward trend, particularly in other parts of the state. And at some point there is spillover from other parts of the state into our system because the system feeds regionally.
Parisi says whether or not we need to set up a field hospital depends on human behavior. He says as we head into fall and flu season, we could be facing a challenging situation.
Chief Quality Officer Dr. Jeff Potoff says UW Health is still able to manage the number of patients, but the situation is bad elsewhere in the state.
You have hospitals saying that they are so full that they cannot take care of people the way they want to take care of people. That's the end game. That's the worst case scenario at the end of the pandemic is we have people who are so sick that they need a hospital and the hospital doesn't have room to take care of them. That should give all of us pause. That could be our loved one. That could be our family member.
Dr. Potoff urges everyone, no matter their age or where they live, to be on high alert. And although it will be harder than it was in March, he says we can still bend the curve by following public health recommendations. Wisconsin is not alone in the coronavirus surge. Cases are on the rise in 28 states, leading the governor of Georgia to extend COVID restrictions in his state. In neighboring Florida, though, there's a push to reopen. Despite the case count, Florida's nightlife is heating up after Governor Ron DeSantis officially ended all COVID-related business regulations last week. He also effectively ended local government's abilities to enforce mask mandates by suspending fines for rule breakers. But businesses can still require customers to wear masks.
Wisconsin Republicans want the full 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to hear their appeal of a ruling by a 3-judge panel that allowed absentee ballots to be counted for 6 days after Election Day. The Republican-controlled legislature requested the hearing late yesterday. Earlier in the day, the court panel had rejected a separate request by Republicans to put that ruling on hold. And amid that ongoing litigation, Wisconsin elections officials urge voters to return their ballots as soon as possible if they are voting absentee. So far, Wisconsin has more than 3.5 million registered voters. Almost 1.2 million absentee ballots have been requested, and 400,000 have been filled out and received by local clerks.
But we do know that more than 3 million Wisconsin voters are expected to participate in the Wisconsin election in November. And that's just based on history if we look back at those previous numbers. And so looking at that, there's about a third that have already opted to receive their absentee ballot by mail.
Now, the deadline to register to vote online is October 14th. There is some ongoing litigation looking to extend that, but she recommends abiding by that deadline. Go to myvote.wi.gov. You can also register at your municipal clerk's office until October 30th or register in person on Election Day.
Today on Capitol Hill, Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett continued meeting with Republican senators ahead of hearings that start in less than 2 weeks. Some Democrats have said they will not meet with President Trump's pick to fill the seat held by the late liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, warning that Barrett's appointment to the High Court would put the Affordable Care Act and abortion rights in jeopardy.
Next at 5, it is the 3rd anniversary of the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history.
Victims' families have finally reached a settlement with the Mandalay Bay Resort, and the casino's owner. Will have the details coming up. And tonight on News 3 Now at 6, the village of Mount Horeb celebrates a new monument that honors local veterans. That's coming up tonight at 6.
And on Wall Street, the Nasdaq surges an even 159 points today. Lesser gains for the Dow, up 35. The S&P with an 18-point bump. We'll be right back.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Everyone loves a good snack, and we've got plenty to choose from at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. From classic candies and gummy go-tos to craveable chocolates and savory trail mixes, we're your snacking headquarters. Your choice of Farm and Fleet chocolate favorites or trail mixes, just $3.49. Get Farm and Fleet licorice or gummies. Your choice, just $1.99. Cattleman's Cut beef jerky is only $9.99. And don't miss our big snacking and candy event. Try free samples and get great deals on our sweet, salty, snackable selection.
For our seniors, Social Security is a sacred obligation, a sacred promise made. The current president is threatening to break that promise. He's proposing to eliminate a tax that pays for almost half the Social Security without any way of making up for that lost revenue. I will not let that happen. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
A little compassion goes a long way at the Century House. Donate $50 or more to charity and save more than ever before on stressless seating. Get up to $400 off stressless recliners and office chairs, plus save hundreds more with $200 off every sofa seat you buy. Now's the perfect time to help others and fill your home with the unmatched comfort and beauty of stressless seating. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Get more for your kitchen now at the Brothers Main Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale. We want you to absolutely love your new kitchen, so you'll get big, big savings on the latest incredible products from GE and our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. We want you to be 100% satisfied every time. That's why we're the More Store. The Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale with more selection, more savings, and more kitchen. Now at the Brothers Main, your local store for more since 1938.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Tonight at 6, hear from Dane County Executive Joe Parisi and how the pandemic has affected the county's goals. And as active coronavirus cases reach a record high in Rock County, what county health officials say needs to be done.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Police in Milwaukee are working to determine a motive for that shooting outside the funeral home that left 7 people wounded yesterday. Acting Police Chief Michael Brunson says investigators are trying to determine whether the shooting was linked to the homicide victim that people were mourning at that funeral home. He says all the injured, including men and women ranging in age from 20 to 48, were hospitalized and remain in stable condition. Police haven't said whether a suspect or suspects have been detained. A judge has approved an $800 million class action settlement in the Las Vegas mass shooting. That settlement came yesterday. Today, by the way, the 3rd anniversary of that shooting. It is the deadliest in modern U.S. history. The shooter killed 58 people, injured nearly 700 others in the rampage before taking his own life. The settlement comes months after negotiations between victims and MGM Resort International, which owns the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino there in Las Vegas.
There has never been, in the history of mass shootings, there has never been a settlement like this where both sides have decided, you know, we need to work together. We need to resolve this case. We need to try to give these victims some closure.
The $800 million will be divided among more than 4,000 victims. A pair of retired judges will independently determine the exact amounts for each victim.
Let's get a check at the weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has your forecast. A little bit of everything today, Gary.
Yeah, we've had some sun, some clouds, and some scattered showers, but you can see the last batch moving through southern Wisconsin right now. For the most part, skies are clearing out across northern Wisconsin, so we're left with these scattered showers. It'll probably linger around for the next couple of hours. Most areas, if you see a shower, will be brief and light, and that'll pretty much be it. But frost is definitely a possibility for tonight, with low temperatures in the middle 30s, also for tomorrow night, and then perhaps again for Sunday night as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Frost advisory is in effect tonight from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, west of a Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line. East of there, including Madison, that advisory runs from 3 a.m. until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We have alert days in the forecast for the frost tomorrow morning, as well as for Saturday morning. Again, with temperatures in the middle 30s, the possibility exists for some widespread frost. On future track, the showers will end tonight, and by early tomorrow morning, notice those temperatures in the lower to middle 30s through much of southern Wisconsin with partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, high temperatures only get up to around 50, so that gives us a good head start on cooling off for tomorrow night. Now, there'll be more cloud cover tomorrow night. Normally, clouds would keep temperatures up a bit, but these will mainly be mid and high level clouds. Looking at some of the computer models, most of the clouds at or above 10,000 feet until early on Saturday morning. So that should allow temperatures to at least drop into the middle 30s again, with the potential for frost. And then later on Saturday, those clouds will thicken up, and we'll see a chance for a shower Saturday afternoon. A little better chance arrives on Saturday night. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Again, middle 30s are possible for the next couple of nights with cold temperatures. Showers, best chances this weekend will be probably Saturday night, maybe late Saturday afternoon. Some of the showers could linger into Sunday morning before they come to an end. But we're still looking at mild weather for next week with high temperatures back in the 60s beginning around Tuesday. You can see the frost advisories through all of southern Wisconsin, parts of northern Illinois, northern Iowa, and southern Minnesota, with freeze warnings north of that up toward Eau Claire and into parts of western Minnesota. North of that area, they've already had a hard freeze, and the growing season pretty much is over with. Upper level winds right out of the north. So not only do we have winds from the near the ground from the north and northwest, but the upper level winds continue to just bring down cold air from Canada. Western part of the country, again, high and dry, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, and problems with wildfires there. But right now, because the winds are coming out of Canada, we're not even getting that wildfire smoke. A lot of that is being dispersed over western Canada before it has a chance to reach us. There's also another cold front that's moving through southern Wisconsin, and that will keep temperatures down a bit as well. North of the front, notice those temperatures. Northern part of the Midwest already down into the lower 40s in Marquette, Michigan, and International Falls, Minnesota, so it's not going to take much more of a drop in temperatures to get them below freezing later on tonight. So our forecast calls for a high temperature tomorrow of only 50 degrees with partly sunny skies, frost early in the morning, and then again possible tomorrow night. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, we'll see shower chances late Saturday afternoon, better chances Saturday night, and then those will end on Sunday morning. Frost again a possibility Sunday night with temperatures dropping into the middle 30s by Monday morning, but then we start to turn the corner. We're going to be in the upper 50s to around 60 on Monday, and then in the 60s beginning on Tuesday through the rest of next week, and by next weekend high temperatures will be in the 70s. As we take a look at first warn traffic, seeing some delays on the eastbound belt line from around Monona Drive back to around Park Street, so that's slowing traffic down a bit there. Otherwise, not seeing any major delays on the expressway system. So right now, it's about a 20-minute commute on the eastbound belt line from University Avenue to the interstate. Going back in the westbound direction, only a 15-minute commute. Heading out of Madison, 26 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the belt line southward. It'll take you 17 minutes to get to Sauk City on US 12 from Middleton, and from downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Washington Avenue, US 18 151. It's an 18-minute commute. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Great, thank you. Still ahead at 5. Tens of thousands of airline workers are subject now to furloughs unless Congress takes action quickly. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital. My wife and daughter had been killed in an automobile crash. And lying in the bed were my 2 little boys. I couldn't have imagined what it would have been like if I didn't have insurance to cover them immediately and fully. 40 years later, one of those little boys, my son Bo, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, given months to live. I can't fathom what would have happened if the insurance companies had the power to say, last few months you're on your own. The fact of the matter is, healthcare is personal to me. Obamacare is personal to me. When I see the President of the United States try to eliminate this healthcare in the middle of a public health crisis, that's personal to me too. We've got to build on what we did because every American deserves affordable health care. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
A woman who was young had COVID-19. I remember her because she had a bracelet that had the names of her children. She asked me, "Doctor, am I going to be okay?" And I could not give her the answer that I wanted to give her. There's no excuse for why we don't have this under control at this point. Joe Biden listens to medical experts. He actually has a plan that does the things that we should have been doing many months ago. And Joe Biden is not going to let his ego get in the way of fighting the disease.
FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Let us help you create your family's recipe for health. SSM Health and News 3 Now are making it easy by putting all the ingredients right at your fingertips. With topics like healthy habits, nutrition, and mental well-being, there's something for everyone. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page for advice from SSM Health experts. And catch fresh and informative reports on News 3 Now.
Take time for kids with SSM Health and News 3 Now.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopko Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopko Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames.
Renovate the bathroom of your dreams at Menards. With 50 years of experience manufacturing bathtubs and showers, Max is an industry leader. Right now, all Max products are 11% off. Lions has what you need to fit your unique style, whether that's a shower or a surround. Get 11% off your bathroom updates from Lions. Stop waiting and start saving on everything you need right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
America's job recovery is continuing, but at a snail's pace. Another 837,000 Americans filed for initial unemployment claims last week. That was down slightly from the prior week. Tomorrow's jobs report will be the last look we get at the American labor market before Election Day. Economists expect an unemployment rate of 8.2%, which would be the highest jobless rate on record going into an election. Marcus Theaters has temporarily shut down 17 of the 72 cinemas it reopened this summer, citing a decline in audience demand and the limited number of new movie releases. Locations in Appleton, Green Bay, Delafield, and Menominee Falls are closed again. According to the company website, Madison's Point Cinema and the Palace Theater in Sun Prairie are still open.
Retail chain H&M plans to close 250 stores next year. The company says the pandemic has has played a role. Simply more shoppers are buying online. The cuts account for 5% of H&M stores worldwide. The company's CEO says she believes the worst is behind them and they can come out stronger after the pandemic. It's unclear if Madison stores will be affected. Time has run out for some 45,000 airline workers.
Many of them are being furloughed or laid off today after talks to extend government relief programs on Capitol Hill stalled. Chris Van Cleve reports.
Denisha McCluskey became a flight attendant 4 years ago. It's a career she loves and thought she'd have until she retired. But today, McCluskey is out of a job because of the pandemic.
I'm really scared about where my health will lie without having the proper health care to, to continue to live the life that I've been living since I've been flying.
McCluskey reveals her Crohn's disease once nearly killed her and requires regular, costly infusions. When her health insurance runs out, she's not sure what she'll do.
I worked so hard to get where I am, and I'm nervous about my health trickling. Being back and forth in the hospital again with no health care, and I'm sorry.
CBS News estimates around 45,000 airline workers are subject to furlough or layoff after the government's $25 billion payroll support program expired. At least 44,000 other employees took early exit packages, voluntarily leaving their jobs, and more than 74,000 are taking unpaid leave, preventing even more job cuts. Alaska Airlines Captain Lee Erickson and his wife Brenda, a flight attendant, accepted early retirement, hoping to help save the jobs of their 2 kids. Both work for the airline.
I just want to thank all my coworkers for the great career that they've given me, but I mostly want to thank you, our passengers, who provided me with a very long and very satisfying career.
There is a sliver of hope here, though. United and American both say if Congress is able to come to a deal in the next few days, they can reverse these furloughs. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Reagan National Airport.
And to put the layoffs in perspective, American Airlines now has 30% fewer employees than it did back in January.
And stay with us. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
Through Monday at Ashley Home Store, pay just $1 down for complete rooms full of furniture. Interest-free for 5 years. Seriously, just $1 required to check out. Plus, save up to 50% off clearance items while they last. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
What would Joe Biden's plan do for you? Families with young children could get nearly $7,000 for childcare. Buying your first home, you'll get $15,000 towards the down payment. If you get paid by the hour, your income could grow by as much as $14,000. Older seniors, your yearly Social Security benefits could increase by $1,300. The Biden plan. The wealthy and big corporations pay more, you benefit.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of PowerSwabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to PowerSwabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. PowerSwabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stained caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, PowerSwabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour, and start using the PowerSwabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. PowerSwabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, by ordering in response to this advertisement, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Through Monday at Ashley Home Store, pay just $1 down for the best sleep of your life. You pay just $1 at checkout for any mattress in our lineup. Seriously. Plus, savings up to 55% off and no interest financing for up to 6 years. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, disaster in the West as high winds and extreme heat threaten to make wildfires worse. Tonight, the desperate fight to save California's wine country. Plus, a troubling new report on military suicides. We speak with a top general about what's being done to support our armed forces. And we'll meet a special set of twins celebrating a crowning achievement. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
October's first full moon is the harvest moon tonight. According to NASA, it'll appear full for about 3 days. The second full moon of the month is on Halloween. It's called a full blue hunter's moon because the second full moon in 1 month happens infrequently. Every 2.5 to 3 years, a full moon across time zones on Halloween, even more rare. In fact, it hasn't occurred since 1944.
Gary, we're going to get the rain out of here so we can see that big full moon?
Yeah, later on tonight, just about everybody should be able to see the moon. Right now, we're dealing with just a few showers, but you can see how quickly they're starting to wind down already. Temperatures are around 50, give or take a degree or two, but frost advisories in effect for our entire viewing area overnight. Look for a low temperature of 34, high tomorrow only at 50, and the possibility exists for some more frost tomorrow night. Alert days for tomorrow morning and for Saturday morning as well. But after some showers this weekend, temperatures will turn milder for next week.
We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.